Hi everyone, it is March 2020. Italy says army will help enforce lockdown, effectively declaring martial law, might extend lockdown through early May. Confirmed cases in the US pass 14,000. Trump says no plans for national lockdown, just like he said we're out of the Paris Agreement, just like he said I'm not signing that TPP, just like he said we're going to make America great again. Okay. He doesn't have to do a national lockdown because states are locking down themselves. He can say, hey, I'm out of that Paris Agreement. But states and local governments are implementing that Paris Agreement. He can say, I'm not signing the TPP and hand over to multinational corporations our sovereignty. Too bad so many people still, after being lied to by these criminals, psychopaths in government, too bad they continued to believe them. Bavaria becomes first German state to impose lockdown. Well, I just received this from a subscriber, and I should have blown it up, but I didn't. All right, what is this? It's in German, anyway. A subscriber sent it to me. Papers that if you are out on the street in Germany, you better have your papers and your national ID card. These are the papers that say that you are essentially an essential worker. For those who don't have that paper, you get caught outside. Will you have to suffer the consequences? Probably. So it's obvious that Germany is going lockdown. This is another fabulous document sent to me by a subscriber. Notice to all tenants, get your rental payments in now. We, as your landlord, understand that tough times are about to encroach on all of us. This is a letter highly recommending that you go ahead and get your rental payments in now for April. We want to ensure all of our tenants are kept in their homes during this time. Housing should be your #1 priority. So get your payments in now before you're out of work, sick, or if there are any other side effects from this virus. It is very important your rent is paid first. Our processes will not be stopping. We will be following all fair housing laws. Thank you for your understanding. Cognata Properties, LC. What's 803, the area code? I don't know. Out of work. Out of work. President calls on all Americans to contribute to stopping the spread. Governors, contribute to stopping the spread. Landlords, get your money to me now. Love it. I love this country so much. So, yeah, we are looking at a really hard time, guys. And I just want you to stay informed about the cases, the rising cases where you live, because those numbers, lockdown, as they continue to increase, lockdown may very well be coming. It's in New York now. Governor Cuomo made his announcement. Well, as the numbers increased, those with the coronavirus, we tightened the valve to 50% stay home. 50% of workers stay home. Then the numbers continued to increase, so we tightened the valve a little bit more to 75%. Now we're closing the valve. 100% of workers, except for those essential, stay home. These are lockdowns. This is martial law. They say it's voluntary. Then they say that you're not a good human being if you go out, because you will be contributing to more and more people getting the coronavirus. So, those of us who know what's going on our asleep Americans will attack us for being, well, not obedient, not complying. So Massachusetts, you're looking at a lockdown. So far, we've got New York, Illinois announced their lockdown. I got a comment from a subscriber, Pennsylvania, lockdown. Illinois, New York, California. Well, we're also looking for New Jersey to announce soon, Florida, Colorado, Louisiana, Georgia, Illinois, and Texas. And then we may very well be looking at a nationwide lockdown. Just because Trump says he's not going to call one doesn't mean that he won't call one. So, all right, and get prepared for a whole lot of these headlines. Coronavirus patient on hellish ordeal. I was screaming for mercy and praying to God. You look rather healthy, actually, considering you're still in the hospital. I guess you're recovering. 55, Kevin Harris, at Mercy Health, St. Joseph Warren Hospital. You look very healthy. You look very good, considering you thought you were going to die, and you were in so much pain, and we're going to be getting this a whole lot more now because, well, polls have been taken, and there's a lot of Americans that think that the measures that governments are taking are greatly exaggerated for the numbers. So they will increase the numbers. They will convince you there is a coronavirus. I can't keep arguing the obvious. Now, I had a conversation with an awake subscriber. What does it mean? A Trump supporter. And I don't want to waste my time trying to break through to people anymore. I'm so tired. And look, if people haven't gotten it, whether they're awake or asleep, they ain't going to get it at all. People say, leave comments like, well, when the shit hits the fan, people will fight. No, they won't. No, they won't. They'll comply. They'll obey their authorities. Well, you have a purpose because people will come to you and ask you what's going on. No, they won't. No. If they don't care about what's going on now, they won't care. So, what else? How about fourth person in New Jersey family has died from the coronavirus? Look, I'm not saying everybody is lying or whatever. They could be spraying something in specific areas that could be knocking people dead very quickly. That's the problem that we face. There's no way to know. There's no way to know what is going on. We had a pollen dump here. I couldn't believe the pollen was so thick, and I have never seen it so thick, and so I feel like hell. My eyes are killing me. I don't have allergies, My nose is killing me. My eyes are killing me. And of course, we have those fabulous microwaves, right? Which are, man, turn up the volume, turn up the volume, turn up those microwaves. And what then happens, right? We become very exhausted. And that's how I'm feeling right now. I am so unbelievably exhausted, I can't stand it. And I also just don't know what to say anymore, you know. We're just so... This country's... Look, I've been saying it's gone for a long time. You know, people still are commenting about our Constitution. We don't have one. We haven't had one in a really long time. We've been sprayed here. We've been living under that dome, that gray dome of cloud. Today we had sun. Yesterday we had some sun in the afternoon, I think. And then dumped with so much pollen. It was amazing. But you can see the frequencies in the skies. And you can see the different colored clouds. Look, people have in their face a neon sign virtually every single day. That neon blinking sign. There's something wrong. Something wrong. Something wrong. And people ignore it. Yeah, we've got a gray mix in a white squared off cloud. This white car should not be here Friday night. It shouldn't be here Friday night. He should be working. He should be working. Well, he has an establishment in a food court. So far this week, he made $19. Millions have lost their jobs. We are... If the awake crowd didn't do anything, they're not going to start doing anything. The Americans that just didn't care to know what was going on will not suddenly care to know. And, you know, look.
Authority invested in certain sections of the Ohio Revised Code dealing with pandemic episodes. We are barricading the premise. Last night, officers responded to check the location, found approximately 40 people inside in violation of the governor's directive. You know, not only are you putting the general public at risk, you're putting our officers at risk that had to go in and deal with the individuals that were in violation. So as a result, we're going to set the example today. You know, it does not give us any, you know, it pains us to have to do this. It pains us that we're in these uncharted waters. This is new territory for the police department.
Well, they boarded up a bar. Boarded. Ah, weren't they doing that in China? First confirmed patient in Rhode Island talks about surviving coronavirus. Mark Thibault, not sure if that's how you pronounce it. He's 48. Oh my God, at 40. Wow, not elderly. He became the first patient diagnosed in the United States. Said he used hand sanitizer frequently during the February 14, 22nd trip to Italy. But he shared a microphone with a tour guide who said he was coming down with the flu. He told the Wall Street Journal that he has asthma, but exercises every day, rarely gets sick. And then he felt sluggish on the flight home. Mark, you infected an awful lot of people on that flight, huh? He stayed home from work, but went to a walk-in clinic when he felt worse. Then a few days later, to a hospital. Doctors at both places decided his symptoms did not qualify him for the coronavirus test, but the hospital contacted the Rhode Island Department of Health, which told him to get tested immediately, and they did on February 27th. Then the illness really hit him hard like a hurricane. He struggled to breathe, his lungs filled with fluid, and nurses in hazmat-style suits came in to drain him every 2 hours. The worst part, he felt like he was choking, asphyxiating. You're panicking because you can't breathe. You're just getting through 1 hour to the next. At one point, he was aware that a priest in protective gear was about to administer the rites. He wrote a note to his wife saying that if his lungs collapsed, he did not want to be put on life support. I was 1 inch from death. It's alarming when I hear people minimize. This is a simple cold. It almost killed me, and I'm only 48, and I was in good health, and wow. This was sent to me by a subscriber whom I'd like to thank, but also sent to me by that same subscriber was her research on MARC, Rand Corporation, U.S. Coast Guard, Office of Performance, Management, and Assessment. Rand Corporation, New World Order Corporation. Working hand in hand with all the evil, corrupt globalists, the New World Order nut jobs. Thanks, Mark. So glad you're still with us. John Rappaport's site I can't get to. Somebody left a link to his article, and the first message I got was, we can't seem to get to this site, whatever. Try reloading. I reloaded. Same message. Clicked out of it. Tried to click on the link again. 504 gateway timeout. A lot of us are going to go down. So here, Illinois announces stay-at-home order following New York and California, putting 70 million Americans under lockdown as the states take matters into their own hands after Trump refused a national quarantine. Trump has the authority over the governors with that declaration of national emergency. Why isn't he using that authority? Because this is the game you have been watching for years. States doing the work that Trump says he won't do. Just to get your sweet support as you watched for 3 years this country go down, 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 even further with Trump. And now, look at where we are. So here, yeah, pay attention to the numbers in your state, because, yeah, look, a lot of people are saying that that a nationwide lockdown, it may be coming Sunday evening. What is the date? And I got this from a subscriber. Well, the date is March 22nd, which means 322, skull and bones. Interesting, isn't it? New Orleans mayor authorizes ability to ban gun sales during coronavirus emergency if city desires. Oh, I desire. You better get your guns now. And if you don't have any, go buy one, please. Have someone you know teach you how to use it. How did things end up like this? Well, I have an answer for you. You didn't listen to your local conspiracy theorists. Instead, you acted rather immature, calling them a conspiracy theorist, not understanding how programmed you were to stop thinking for yourself and to think how the CIA wanted you to think. Because it was the CIA that came up with that term, conspiracy theorists, to shut people up who were talking about the truth. That's how things ended up like this. So this is an article about all the unemployed, right? Anecdotal stories. The abrupt reversal of fortune for the economic victims of the virus, economic victims of incredibly evil criminals in your government, in your banks, in the Fed Reserve. Could it be that Americans didn't realize that their economy was a farce? Yeah, because when you don't want to know the truth, you do everything to avoid that truth. Well, it's turning lives upside down as their places of work shuttered or reduced staffing. Dreams of the future have been replaced by worries about the present. How do I pay my rent? How do I pay for food? Millions at the same time lost their jobs. So we're looking at a really stressed American population who are well adjusted to a deeply disturbed society, which means they're deeply disturbed, and we are looking at a whole lot of violent chaos coming our way. And I hope communities, wherever you are, I hope you are talking to your neighbors and you're prepared to meet what will come. While some ponder returning home to their parents temporarily to help make ends meet, others are too afraid to take this step, worried they might expose older loved ones to the virus. And many are now applying for unemployment benefits for the first time in their lives. These are the millennials. They're talking about websites across the country, unemployment websites crashing. So many people are applying. Few hours after ending her shift on Wednesday, Naisha Johnson got a call from a coworker. Devastating news. She lost her job at Philadelphia International Airport, one of hundreds of contract service workers hit by airline company cuts. By the way, I think it's American Airlines that cut 55,000 flights. Americans are asked not to travel, and those overseas to come back home. If you're in a Western country, come back home, because the same thing is happening to all of us. If you're not, stay there. My initial thought process was how was I going to pay my bills? Do I need to contact my landlord now because the rent is 2 weeks away? I'm very stressed out, emotionally confused, just trying to stay positive. 32 years old, a general manager of a small restaurant near Princeton, New Jersey. I go from sad to scared to angry. Do I consider my job lost? I don't know. Am I the general manager, or was I the general manager? It's the uncertainty of all this that's the hardest part. How come we're not hearing when this is going to reverse itself? How come we don't hear things that, okay, once we see the deaths at a certain number, you can have your rights back? We don't see that, right? Oh, and I was listening to Sean Hannity in my car today. He interviewing Andrew Cuomo, who locked down New York. He's the governor. And Sean was saying, well, I don't think this country is ever going to be the same again. I don't think that we're ever going to... It's kind of like a restructuring of the country. He said, public-private partnerships will be here forever now. Yeah, public-private. Trump Agenda 2030. First year he was in, he put out that infrastructure plan. I went over it, public-private partnership throughout it. He's an Agenda 2030 guy. Wow, man. Well, look, if we can't get on the same page, if we can't, the quote-unquote awake, then they can do whatever the hell they want to do, and they will. How did things end up like this? You did not listen to people who knew what was going on. They could have told you this was coming. You could have prepared better. The economy was not great. Trump, the miracle worker, did not bring back that economy. He lied through his teeth in a very bold, outrageous way, telling you how great the economy is. No, it was artificially propped up. Since 2008, it never, ever returned. Now they're just fleecing you, getting you to buy as much as you can. Oh, yeah, for the companies make a lot of money. We are being so fleeced, it's remarkable. Here, a hotel bell captain in Chicago said she had almost saved enough money to buy his girlfriend an engagement ring, but then he was laid off. I have no more money. I was so close to buying the ring too, so I'm just kind of bummed. I hate that feeling of letting her down, but food and a roof over our heads are way more important at the moment, don't you think? Anybody who would be let down, what do you mean you didn't buy the ring? Oh my God. And we have people like that. For a lot of younger people who have lost their jobs, returning to their parents' home may not be an option. Yay, family in America. My parents are in their late 60s, and they're like, you can't come home. A 36-year-old general manager lost her job. You can't come home. Fabulous. School shut for at least a month, mother of two. This is in Iowa. She lost her job as a special education assistant. Then on Tuesday, they suspended eat-in dining, and then she lost her second job. Mother of two. I spent a good amount of time crying. I was tight in the chest, shaky, sick to my stomach. Sumner, Iowa. She learned on Thursday that she will receive unemployment benefits, giving her some relief. Pastry chef, 30 years old, lost her job. This week, for the first time, applied for unemployment benefits. Grappling with the rapid changes to American life, she asks, how did things end up like this? Living a pretense, never holding anybody accountable, accepting lie after lie after lie, believing that we're exceptional, that we're fabulous, ignoring all of the evil of our own government, our own military, killing so many innocent people all over the world, invading countries, stealing their resources, and not giving a shit, not caring about, hey, live the principles that you speak instead of just speaking them. We got here because we didn't do the work on ourselves to mature and to get ourselves off the low road. Wow. So, yeah, I want to read some comments that I got under this video of Newsom. But I've been getting comments from subscribers who have lost their jobs. But let's just go through some of these. I got a vent, bedlam, today at the workplace. I get so pissed off at people talking with customers they can't wait for a vaccine. Really? Are you shitting me? Everyone running around panicked, waiting for the shelter-in-place edict. And this is the abridged account. The internet shutdown is imminent at this point. Good luck, all. Hope most are ready. The internet going down? What does that mean for me? What does that mean for a lot of you? Depending on how long it's down, I will not make it. I suppose I'll have to post a video to explain that. A lot of people won't make it. We have to change. We have to change. We have to think about other people. We have to help those people. The elderly in your neighborhoods. Have you gone to visit them? Have you told them that you will be checking up on them every day should they need something? Don't say, hey, call me if you need anything, because that's not the American way. Why? Because there's no trust. And when you can't trust, it's very hard to reach out. The elderly must be freaking out. So please, learn where they are in your neighborhoods. Talk to other neighbors. Now, put together an organized neighborhood effort, a neighborhood, watch and put together with your neighbors, checking on one another, going out and shopping for those who are elderly in your neighborhoods, those who are in need, those who have lost their homes. You get together with your neighbors. You have meetings. Go, okay, what can we do in this neighborhood to help everybody? But that almost seems like such a foreign idea to Americans. Well, it's called community. And if people really cared, well, that care generates action. So if people really cared, they would be already taking action. Report from Vermont, Heinsberg, Burlington area, gas station markets, not sure about all. Not taking cash any longer until the crisis is over. This is bullshit. I know you really need to have some hope and some good news, so here you go. And I listened to this and I was like, okay, fine. Don't, please. You want to believe whatever you want to believe. Go ahead. But don't inject false hope. You know what hope does? It makes you sit back and do nothing. Waiting for, that good thing to arrive. When all of us should have been working to manifest that good thing. Commonwealth of Pennsylvania joins the Great Shutdown. Right now, almost nothing is open, except grocery stores, Home Depot, Lowe's, banks, fast food takeouts, beer stores. After midnight, they're going to find anyone who has kept their place open. Not approved. They forget we have one up on them. First, most everyone here has something. The rich bastard don't. And that's common sense. Really? You think a lot of people here have common sense? No, they don't. And here, once again, actually we've won and defeated. We've defeated the New World Order. Thanks to Russell J. Gould, Postmaster General of the entire world, who saved humanity already back in 1999. If he saved humanity, why have so many been killed off? Why are so many suffering? What is going on? Ah, but you get to feel good and hopeful. But have you helped any of those who have been destroyed? Get up, stand up, hug a friend. No fear, playing for change. Plain truth. Get up, stand up for your rights. My son lives in Florida, and he just told me the lines to buy guns wrapped around the entire building. They will start closing gun stores. This is beginning to feel like a global takeover. Have you not been noticing what's been going on for years? And this is not the beginning. This is the end. This is the end point. These liars deserve the rope. Every liar. Every liar. And those who accept the liars. I'm increasingly convinced this is like a beta test run. I'd say I'm 65-70% on that. Biggest reason for that are if they decide to make everything better again for a while, the public will implicitly trust them even more the next time this tyranny is enforced. People would be like, told you so. Yeah, that's a possibility. It's a possibility. It is clear that Donald Trump is controlled opposition, playing the role of anti-globalist while at the same time stacking his cabinet with the same elites he supposedly is at war with. What the hell is wrong with Trump supporters who are quote-unquote awake? Yeah, this is what he did. And Jennifer's right. Trump also bought off 1990s, saved by the Rothschild. Banking agent Wilbur Ross, who is the Commerce Secretary. I wonder if any Trump supporter ever checked out my Trump playlist. Probably not. I love to believe. What's a lie? What's an utter lie? Since Americans knew the Constitution and the Bill of Rights better than a lot of these things we're being made to do, isn't it? Look, we have not had a Constitution. We have watched our federal government centralize power, taking over power of the states. The republic, no longer exists. Centralizing power is what tyrants do. And it's clear we've watched Congress, Supreme Court, the executive branch violate the Constitution virtually every single day. Americans didn't care. How to get a stupid public to obey orders from their masters. They will know where everyone is. Yeah, they will. Your smartphones, your iPhones. And they will know if you have way too many people sitting next to you and you're not social distancing. Those smart surveillance devices that so many Americans just never part with. They know your location. They know who you're with. They know if you're congregating with over 10 people. I just keep dreaming everything will be all right. Keep dreaming. Keep dreaming as everything gets worse. The only thing not being told is your American life is over. It was in the crosshairs, and no one protected it, and don't expect it back anytime soon. Stephen, you are absolutely right. Absolutely right. Some of you may not be getting it. The whole world, all nations. National socialist government, oh yeah. You know Trump is nationalizing virtually every industry, right? And that public-private partnership, which we all know is an Agenda 2030, that's what he has been doing. You know, soliciting the help of the private sector. We are restructuring Our government's gone. It's been gone for a very, very long time. The economy is gone. So, when I've been saying we are living in a house of cards, just waiting for that one card to fall, we're watching the cards go off. They're falling. And this country's never coming back the way it was. There's going to be more layoffs. There will be government worker layoffs. There will be teachers laid off. The old will be laid off first because the young are even more lost than the old. But hell, doesn't matter. Generationally, no one has done anything. The homeless are being taken to what city officials call alternative shelters. They're being killed off. I have no doubt. We should all be in the streets standing up for freedom and sanity. How is that possible? I have awake people where I live, and they won't do it. We're lost. I hate it. Is it Frank Zappa? I don't know, Frank Z. The illusion of freedom will continue as long as it's profitable to continue the illusion. At the point where the illusion becomes too expensive to maintain, they will just take down the scenery. They're taking down the scenery. The curtain is dropping. They will pull back the curtains. They will move the tables and chairs out of the way, and you will see the brick wall at the back of the theater. And then you'll realize it was theater, not life. This reality that we've been living, it has been a constructed, created reality that many enjoy. Many have enjoyed. And I'm talking about, I've heard from subscribers. I know my own experience. I'm talking about people who chose willful ignorance over truth. Who chose to live a life so grossly immoral, calling themselves morally good people. You ain't gonna get anything good out of that. Here, this world is both a test and an opportunity, a test of character, and an opportunity to reach our full spiritual potential. Obviously, these are not mutually exclusive, and in fact, God does indeed test the souls in order to help bring them to their full potential. And very few want to even hear that because it means work. And most are lazy. Yeah, still low risk. We still don't have the numbers that warrant the closing down of the country. The literal just booting American workers out of their jobs. You know how many people are going to be destroyed by this? How many will take their life? Domestic violence, child abuse, all will really skyrocket. People will be murdered. Was this really needed? Of course it wasn't. But they're unleashing the violent chaos. They're letting prisoners go out of prisons because, well, they might get the coronavirus. You got to de-densify, so they're letting inmates go, opening the prisons. This is happening around the country. You think they're setting you up? They are in areas they're not taking any more crime calls, the police, because of the coronavirus. Nope. You're on your own. Do you understand that? You are on your own. So, here, let me play a few minutes of a Plain Truth's video, which he mirrored from someone voice inside military martial law. 2 days, March 22nd, 3:22, Skull and Bones. Oh, what a perfect day to bring about martial law.
So I'm driving home from work today, and the thing they put out, we need to get prepared. Homeland Security passes down to like our officials that there will be martial law. They didn't say it like that, but that's what they're describing. There's going to be a complete shutdown of businesses. They will not be patrolling the streets to protect their families. They will be protecting the businesses and the looting. If people loot, they're going to fight. So that's what they're protecting. They're not going to be patrolling neighborhoods, keeping people safe there. They're saying that, like those of us who don't have guns, there's really no, like, calling the police or anything, because there's going to be so many people calling the police if they start looting in neighborhoods. Our medical ships are deploying. Originally it was supposed to be 2 weeks out, and now it's going to be today. So that's pretty serious. And yeah, so basically I'm going home right now to get whatever supplies I can, and my house is all glass, so I'm worried about that. I do not have a gun, so I don't know. We're just kind of getting ready for it. Pretty nervous. All of us are really nervous. We have pregnant girls that have no protection either. But they were filling up the truck this morning when we were putting gas in our pickup truck. They were filling up the tank. And there were guards walking beside the tanks already on base, protecting the tanks for some reason. I don't know what's in there. I saw some supplies, but everything is pretty hidden, so that's really all I have.
All right. You can watch, everything will be linked to below. You can watch the end. But essentially, you know, what she is saying is, you're on your own. Law enforcement, National Guard, they protect the elite. They don't protect you. We've known this for a long time. So, please, first of all, if you don't have anything to protect yourself with, I suggest you go out first thing in the morning and get something, because businesses are going to close down. And I wish there was some way that communities could band together. I really hope that neighbors are checking in with one another, that you're checking the elderly in your community. We have to change our behavior. As Americans, we've got to change our behavior and really reach out. And, well, when the Christians write, get right with God, that's what it means. You develop great, right behavior. Right behavior. The worshiping, the praying, fine and dandy. But if you ain't living right, then you're clearly on the wrong road. Now is the time we need people to get on that right road really fast. Really fast, like pronto, immediately.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face. Tell me that you love me.